We're going for it. Here we are, live in color, and welcome everyone to Food for Thought. Yes, another Wednesday, another month. So welcome to August, the summer edition. And tonight, I mean, we don't look really negative, but we're going to talk about a topic. We're going to talk about a topic requested by one of our dear viewers, how to deal with negativity. And I'm very, very happy to have a special guest. So it's Colin McCabe, also known, everyone knows him from called Place 44, right?
Hi, everybody.
So, yeah, I'm really happy to have you on tonight. Thanks for making time for us. And of course, we have our dear viewers, and we have live on screen our Ian sitting between the trees.
Evening.
Live from Dundee. And of course, Tim and Christine live on the balcony. Here we are. You look very sunny. Yeah.
It's quite nice here, actually. It's 28 degrees and a little bit of a wind, so it's not too hot.
Yeah.
Not as muggy as it has been.
Oh,
Yeah.
Go on, rub it in. Hey, rub it in.
Not my fault I live in paradise.
In paradise, exactly. So let's see who we all have here in the chat. We have a lot of people who came in already early today. So the first one was Anne-Marie Elton. Anne-Marie, hello. And we got Tracy, we got Paul, of course. We got Derek Walker, we got It's Craig, we got David Butler, we got David Longden, and Timothy Dowd. And of course, we got Jeff Daniels and so on and so on. Who else? Chris Godfrey.
Good evening.
Good evening, everyone. So welcome. I'm happy to see you all here. On the topic tonight, how to deal with negativity. And we're not going to be all negative. No, that's not what we actually aim to do tonight. But as it has been a requested topic for discussion, I'm really curious, Cole, why you actually decided to be on this topic, as you're such a positive person, right? Aren't you?
Try to be. Two answers to that. One, Ian bullied me.
Come on. Somebody's going to
No, he never really. That's a joke. Ian didn't bully me at all. Ian asked me very nicely. Second one is I've already sort of touched on it briefly in my own vlogs. I've been experiencing a little bit of negativity, not with myself specifically, but in my life as a general recently. So I thought I'd come on and share it and let people know how I'm hopefully dealing with it in the right way.
Please do, yeah. So I mean, it is a topic everyone can possibly identify with, and yeah, I would like to know in your life, Colin, you are very cheery actually, and you are doing a work that actually is putting you in a more positive state of mind. But then you say that there are personal things that draw negativity. So what is that?
Okay. Yeah, you're right. My job is a very positive job. You know, I sort of DJ on a part-time basis, which has become recently more of a full-time basis. The situation is at the moment, as most people know, watch me regularly, I live with my daughter, Sap. She's 15 years old. Round about last October, she became a little bit unwell. We were in Disneyland in Paris, and we were walking around Paris. Disneyland's quite a big theme park. We were walking around, and she was experiencing a lot of pain in her joints, mainly her hips and her legs. And I put it down initially to just the amount of walking around we were doing and going on the rides. But like, long story short, she could only walk for 10, 15 minutes at a time. We came back home, sort of November, December, as winter set in. She got a little bit worse. Went to the GP. I spoke to her mum as well, who lives over in Essex. Mum was sort of alluding to the fact that a lot of the females on her side suffer from osteoarthritis.
Mm-hmm.
Our GP initially diagnosed it to be sort of growing pains or a vitamin D deficiency. So she went through the treatment for that, didn't work. So she's now, it is looking like at 15, she's got a form of arthritis. So she's going to see a specialist in a couple of weeks' time. Now herself, the actual condition, she's dealt with it very positively. You know, she's trying to manage it. She's doing her exercises, her physio, etc. She's trying to lead a normal life as possible. But the negativity side of it coming with a school.
Mm-hmm.
She's very academic. She's very bright. But round about December, you know, two things happened. The illness got worse, the condition got worse, and at the same time, we were forced to move house. And with those two coinciding, she missed a little bit of school. Went back to school. She had to undertake some exams literally the day she got back, which it's been decided by the school was done incorrectly. And that had a knock-on effect. She didn't do very well in exams, and since then she's been very negative about school.
Okay.
You know, her education has suffered quite considerably. Her marks have not plummeted, but she's not doing as well as she could be doing. So she's off school now for the summer holidays. So she's going back in September. So we're just dealing with the negative sort of domino effect that's all caused now. So hopefully back in September we can get back to where she should be.
And she has always been, as you said, quite a good student who enjoyed school, right?
Oh, absolutely. She's in what they call grammar stream, which is like it's a class which is like the top of the year, if you like, achievement wise. Mm-hmm. So the small classes, and they're designed for like, you know, sort of academic children. You know, the top sort of 10-15% in a year group, and she's still in that. You know, a marks justified her staying in that. But she whereas like in the morning this time last year, she was running out to get the school bus and couldn't wait to get to school. Two things: because of a condition, I have to actually now take her to school because she can no longer walk that far. Mm-hmm. And now I have to sort of literally bribe
her. Is it stopped?
We're frozen.
We're frozen. It's not that chilly here.
Have you got me?
Well,
You're back in the room.
You're back in the room.
Yeah, the weather's terrible today. It was happening last night on my live. Apologise if you lose me.
No problem. You said.
I noticed that, Carl, but what you've got to do, if that happens again, you got to
pretend I'm frozen.
Don't move.
Yeah.
So yes, you were saying you stopped at now you got to sort of bribe her to go to school.
Yeah, I mean, I don't bribe her, but you know, she takes a lot more encouragement than she used to.
Yeah.
Some days she's quite blunt about it. She simply doesn't want to go in. If she's had a few days off, you know, a sort of a fellow student's there asking how she is, and she finds that overwhelming. She's stressed about catching up on work she's missed. Sometimes it physically hurts her. Sometimes she goes in one morning and she has to go from one corner of the school to another to get to a lesson. And by the time she's got there, she's in a lot of pain. So all these little things added together really stress her out about going in, which is such a shame, really.
Yeah. And is there any kind of relaxation routine that she's trying to implement now? Also, maybe now over the holidays, the summer holidays, that she could be starting her own routine, basically. For relaxing, because obviously it's a new norm and it's a new normal, so it's adapting to it and being more relaxed in that new state she's sort of in.
Yeah, that's it. That's part of it, a sort of a management of it, you know. What I said to her when she came off school, when she was in school before the summer break, you know, it was getting really bad. She didn't want to go in, you know. I was saying, look, you know, you got to keep this in perspective. You're going in for like 4 or 5, 6 hours a day total. Just focus on your learning. You know, don't worry about what the teachers are thinking or saying or the other kids are thinking or saying. Just focus on what you're there for, which is your learning. Get through your day, come home. Just before school broke up, we had a meeting in school. They are going to help her out a little bit more in terms of lesson management, etc. And the logistics of her moving around when she goes back. But now she's off. In terms of that, I said to her, she's been off. This is her second week now. So what you need to do is totally relax. Forget everything. That year's done. Enjoy the summer. Do what you go and meet your friends and have chill out, have fun. She's been for a hair appointment today, which has helped. That's cheered her up a little bit.
Yeah.
And I said, then what we'll do when you've been for she's got a consultant's appointment in 2 weeks' time. So we can't really do anything until that. Nothing's going to change until that appointment, and we'll know what direction you're heading in. Hopefully, she'll get a diagnosis, and then we'll take it from there. So that's how we're dealing with it at the moment.
Yeah.
I've heard that about 4 hours of constant air pressure is good for that condition in like an aeroplane. In an aeroplane, yeah. It's a constant air pressure. You just get in the aeroplane, right? It doesn't have to fly anywhere. If it does, that's even better. And if you get out the other end and it's spring all the time.
I've told her this, and I said to her, especially as well, if there's a lovely couple waiting in a little village about 15 miles away from the airport. And, I'm trying to sell her that idea, and she's slowly coming round to it, believe it or not.
Yeah.
Good dude.
And you know what? The good thing is a lot of vitamin D is waiting here too.
Absolutely.
Exactly.
Well,
I've OD'd on vitamin D.
That's it. She's never enjoyed flying. When it's the ear popping that's put her off. That's why she never comes to Tenerife with me. However, we were having a chat last week. I'm not sure if I mentioned this to Tim. And she said she's noticed now the warm weather's here in the UK, it's not as bad as it's been in the winter. And she said maybe next year, when she has a break from school, if we could look to fly over for several weeks, do a long-term-ish stay, maybe for the whole summer, it's something she'd look at if it'd help her condition and help her health improve.
Yeah.
So
there you go.
Yes.
Could be on the cards.
Can she clean?
She's very good at cleaning. She's very, very good at cleaning.
I've got a job opening here.
So
for me or her.
So Carl, how is it when obviously you love your daughter very much and you are her father, so it's, I can imagine, quite painful for you to see her in that state. And not really knowing, is it going to be better? Is she going to find her own way and all this? So how does that play out for you? Have you been doing something extra for yourself? Like Tim is finding some good relief all the time on his walks and his YouTube lives, and this is something he really enjoys doing. So so that's for him a good vent.
Yeah. You do have to have an escape because you get too consumed. It's very easy for me to sit here and type out emails to the school and phoning school up, shouting and ranting and whatever. You do have to have an escape from it. There's a few things I do. One of my big escapes is, I've been over there twice this year doing videos. Because when I come to Tenerife, Saf's mum stays here. And so it's time for them to spend together, and it's an escape for me. The other major thing, it sounds silly, but it's work. I go out to DJ. The job brings a lot of pleasure to a lot of people. It's my little escape for a few hours each day. A totally different scene where, not that I forget what's going on at home, but I can just sort of, have something different in front of me, if that makes sense.
Yes, absolutely. But just for the people who might not have seen your channel, please let us know what exactly you're doing as a DJ. So what is your everyday? How does that look?
Oh, right. Okay. Well, at the minute, an average week, I go out and gig 4 to 5 nights a week, which is usually towards a weekend. Like the first one's tonight, Wednesday, Thursday, Friday, Saturday, sometimes on a Sunday. And then the rest of the week when Saf's in school, it's dropping her off at school, going to pick her up, just, working, because I used to work in the day, but with me having to take her to and from school now, my day job is no more. So that's why I've increased the night work to compensate, both sort of financially and for myself. So that's about it at the minute. It's a little bit in limbo at the minute until we get her diagnosis and we know where she's going to go. But in terms of work, I do quizzes, karaoke's, my channel. Tim's helped me a lot of it at the very start. An accusation here: Tim bullied me into starting a channel up.
He's very good at it.
Oh, thank you. He's always been there. Still is. So I'll go out. I'll come over to Tenerife, do some vlogs over there, do some stuff in Bournemouth. So that's a good escape as well.
You got a mention on Webby's channel today as well, on the one I've just released.
Oh yeah, I haven't seen
he's
it
committed
yet.
you to coming over for my birthday.
That's right. Yeah, there's my next trip. You see, September. So that'll be fun.
A lot of people coming over.
Whatever else you've got going on in life, your nitty gritty, your day-to-day grind, it's good to have that escape. That is the best way of dealing with it.
Colin, a question. What made you get into DJing?
Good one.
Had all these records lying around, I suppose.
No,
it's getting cold again.
No, it's frozen again.
No, I'm back.
Colin, what made you get into DJing?
Oh, wow. That was many years ago. I had a friend who we used to work with here in Bournemouth. His parents had a bar in Mallorca, and I went over to visit one night. I'm going back to sort of mid-90s, and their resident DJ didn't show up. And the bar was next to a big nightclub in Magaluf. And I stood in. He had like 2 little CD players and a collection of about 20 CDs. So at last minute, I stood in for a couple of hours, and then the DJ never shown his face ever again. So I worked for the rest of the week until he found somebody. And then I came back to the UK. Didn't do anything about it. It wasn't something I envisaged myself doing. And then go back sort of early 2000s, myself, Saf's mum, when the daughters were young, we lived in Cornwall, and it was a similar situation. Our local pub in Cornwall used to put like bands on, but they never had much in the way of discos and things. So I was sitting there one night and I bought a load of karaoke discs off eBay, and we did an impromptu karaoke session in a pub. And then it sort of, it domino effect from there. It just sort of went on from there. Then I bought speakers, then microphones, and I've never looked back since. So that's how I got into it.
There you are. Look where you are today.
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah, I never thought I'd be doing this much.
Yeah. And karaoke is not just singing. It's much more, isn't it? It's quite. I find it quite therapeutic, to be honest. And I've done it.
You're just a dancing queen.
Therapy sessions with myself in karaoke years ago, actually, and we have had this as a topic in Balcony Banter as well, the karaoke thing, and it is quite therapeutic as you're voicing your own, you hear your own voice, which can be very odd in the beginning. If you're not really comfortable hearing your own voice, then that can bring you sort of back into feeling better about it. And then, of course, the melodic side, music is always very good for your body and for your soul. Plus, you have to act it out, the act. So your body is involved as well.
Yeah, absolutely. I mean, I've seen people sort of come on stage literally shaking with fear. And then, all right, a lot of it, they've had a couple of gin and tonics, but they've come on stage shaking. But you can see the confidence increasing. It does increase people's self-confidence. Yes. I've been booked for team building events, residential homes, foreign language schools to help them with the English language, children with special educational needs. It does wonders for youngsters who haven't got the confidence. It's a massive thing.
You're adorable, bee. You're so beautiful.
See what I mean?
C, you're a cutie full of charm. D, you're delightful. And E, you're exciting. And F, you're a feather in my arms.
Welcome,
There you
Tim.
go.
You're so good to me. H, you're so heavenly. I, you're the one I idolize.
And I won't even get copyrighted there.
It's nice. Oh, you won't get copyrighted, don't worry. I'm not that
Tim's
good.
got a good voice. I've heard worse.
No, it's very
I've
good.
been on Johnny Vlogger's karaoke.
Yes.
It's funny you say, Colin, there, your karaoke and that gives you a relief away from your negative side, that you've been sort of used with that negative side, and then you go out and you do your karaoke and you've got a completely different change of mind there, completely different mindset, which, I mean, that's something that I do myself.
Empty bucket.
When he's in the bucket. when I get sort of start to feel negative about something or that, I just tend to go and sit down and I get myself a wee notepad or something like that. You know, if it's serious, like, and sort of write down what's sort of causing me to feel that negative thing, and just sort of work myself through it and get something that I like and focus on something that I like, and then just bring my thoughts back again. That's the sort of thing that I do with it. Like, you know, everybody, let's face it, everybody's got their own way of dealing with it.
Exactly.
It may be a simple thing. It may be quite a serious thing. You know.
What's yours? What's your way of dealing with negative thoughts?
Listening to music.
Uh-huh.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Listening to my audiobooks. Got a great book at the moment.
Cool, dude.
It's called In an Instant.
Black coffee, is it?
The and they have a car accident and the girl dies.
Oh, wow.
But she still talks.
Ah, a ghost.
Yeah, she can see everything, but she can't interact.
Oh, wow. That must be good or terrible. One of the two.
It's good.
Okay.
Because that shows with what problems people deal.
Mm-hmm.
There are problems at all.
Right. So basically looking at somebody else's plight makes your plight seem less important. Okay.
Yeah.
But you have sort of a philosophy, don't you? That you can either be ill and miserable,
Yeah.
or ill and
happy.
happy.
Yeah. Well, it's a good. Yeah, go ahead, Chris.
I think it's good if you don't take yourself so seriously.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. Yes. I'm with you there, what you're saying. So would you say that it's putting it more into perspective, and that, well, when you think about your own misery, which sometimes is not really a misery, but we make it in our minds. We sometimes can make it worse than it actually is, and getting that focus off yourself and maybe onto something else, and putting it then in more in perspective, and then seeing actually that, oh yeah, mine is not really that big compared to someone else's problem or someone else's state of living, right?
Yeah. Someone who doesn't have a Timmy.
Julianne, there's a nice comment came up from Neil Davidson. Can you put that one up?
Let me put that up. Neil Davidson says, I've had a lot of negative thoughts over the last year, but my YouTube family has got me through it. Yes, you guys are doing a great job on our community and uplifting. Just simply the fact that you're tuning in every Wednesday of the first Wednesday of the month to my channel. Then another great thing I wanted to mention, Anne-Marie Elton, David Butler, and Neil Davidson created this this Facebook group, which also brings people close together, the ones who are surfing around the channels. So I think that's brilliant, and just sharing some kind of positivity, whether it is a photo of your vacation you've had here on the island, something that connects you to those other people, something you have in common, and something you feel good or bad about. So I think it's brilliant. So yeah, and in the comments, I would like to also know from you guys how you personally deal with negativity, how you get over it, and have you been helping yourself? Have you been successful helping yourself with that, or maybe others? I know that we just said it's a great uplifter to have this kind of community, definitely. So just let us know in the chat, and while I'm going through here through your comments and reading them and putting them on, if you guys want to say something, Ian maybe, or Carl.
Not me.
Not you. Okay. Yes. So let's see. Anne-Marie says Christine has such an amazing attitude and doesn't focus on negativity. Yes, that's that's what we love about it. Yep. And
I've got a story actually about negativity, if you want to hear it.
Yes, please go ahead, but only if it ends good.
I don't know, it hasn't ended yet.
Oh, okay. Well,
there's the banana plantation between us and Playa Paraíso. There's a banana plantation, and the road has been blocked for years now, and they've just finished it.
Ooh.
And it's 2 lanes now, fully tarmacked. We went through it last Wednesday, was it? No, Monday. Last Monday we went through it and had a drink in the new bar, the legendary bar.
Ooh.
But what I did is I flew my drone and put it on Facebook, and everybody positively commented, "Oh, wow, it's nearly open. Wow, it's nearly open." This one guy decides to say, "It'll soon be full of dog dirt."
Well,
and that to me is negativity, right? It's like being negative about something that was meant to be positive.
Mm-hmm.
Right? So when you say negativity, is that what you mean? People who just cannot be happy for somebody else?
Maybe, yes. I mean, bless him.
No. I mean, it's a serious question, because when people say there's lots of negativity in my life and negativity, then does it come from within, this negativity, or is it perceived to be coming from other people? You know, like people are jealous of where I live, or people, I don't know what it is. I don't know.
I would say, Tim, that particular comment, that comes within. I would say people sees things like that. The first thing that springs to mind is negative. That is a prime example of something. They see something new, but they don't like it new. It has to be negative. Mm-hmm. So they put a negative comment in, and that, to me, exactly. But that comes within. Mm-hmm. Excuse me, I've got a phone ringing someplace.
I mean,
somebody's phone.
Yes, absolutely.
Okay.
Absolutely within, and I mean, what can come out of a person if within is nothing but maybe anger or frustration. So,
But
yes,
I don't know the guy. And
yeah.
he went on to be really nasty to me. I mean, even though I didn't rise to the bait,
Yep.
you know, he's sort of accusing me of being one of those people that take my dog over there and let it crap all over the place, you know. And I didn't like to tell him I didn't have a dog because that would like just kill the conversation. But I just said, you know, I said, why would you say something like that? You know, why are you just happy that we can now get through to Playa Paraíso? Why not look at the positive bit of what I was doing? And then he ended up getting personal, so I had him banned.
It comes within. To me, it's a person that doesn't like to see anything new.
Yeah.
If they see something new, they want to criticize it. They want to make a negative comment about it.
But why? What do they get out of it?
Well, I mean, I've got that concept. We're always talking about balance. So there's always a good in the bad and a bad in the good. So so that has been your bad in the good, right? Your little.
I didn't understand a word he said, but I'm sure it would help somebody.
Okay, I'm sure it will. Yes.
I think some people are just resistant to change, and that comment, Tim, that he made just made him feel better.
Yeah.
So putting his mark on it.
Yeah, more or less. I mean, what else
like
can
a
he do?
dog would do?
Yeah, he knows he can't change it because it's opening, it's happening. But you know, the fact that he had his little release and said his piece, it's made him hopefully feel better. Not that it's made any difference to anyone or anything else. It's just made him feel better.
Well, it actually got him banned from the group.
Well, that's how you dealt with the negativity.
No, all I did was I just reported him to the admins. Just said, you know, this guy's having a go at me for no reason.
Yeah. That's direct karma.
But maybe that's happened to him before, or maybe he just, I don't know. I'm just second guessing, but
anyway, I mean,
no, this is very important, Juliana, because I think that things like that, and especially social media, has allowed people to become bitter. Easier to become bitter. I mean, you used to have to go down the pub and complain, you know. Yeah. Now you can just do it from the comfort of your own home.
Exactly, without showing face and without maybe getting beaten up, right? So it has become very, very, very easy. So yes, I think it's always a question of whether you personally decide to cultivate a more positive mindset, or whether you enjoy, and I'm saying deliberately enjoy being negative and walking down the negative spiral. Because it's easy, it's very easy to become negative. That's easy. You don't really need to cultivate anything there. That's like like we are always talking, Ian, the weeds in the garden. You don't really need any cultivation for some weeds growing. They grow by themselves, right?
We don't call them weeds here. We call them God's little flowers.
Oh yeah. I mean, they make a pretty bunch. They do, certainly.
God's little flowers in the wrong place.
No. God is infallible. God's infallible.
Yes. So that's the thing, and then the question should rather be for the ones who are interested and maybe find themselves in a negative spot, whether they want to be there or whether they have been put there because they didn't have any choice. Then it's still individually up to us to get us out and get us to a lighter space. Sometimes it's necessary to stay in a painful situation to completely understand it and to help yourself get out of it. That is also part of the journey. But then
But you have a lot of responses to your question.
Okay, I'm going through them. But then again, it's whether you want to cultivate some better transformation to a better side or to a more positive side, whether for you it's better or not.
But you're giving advice to me as the person who's in the receipt of the negativity, or you're giving advice to the person who actually gives the negativity? I mean, who has to address the negativity? I mean, I could just choose to ignore it, right?
Exactly, and that's your choice that you make, right?
Yeah,
and
well, I mean, that's the only choice to make, isn't it? I mean, because if you
Yeah.
rise to the occasion, you're just as bad as them.
Yeah, exactly. But
I told him that it's easy, even harder for me to go. But if there's some shit and you're not there to tell me, I drive straight through.
Oh yeah, you do. You enjoy that, don't you?
No.
But I didn't even want to bring you into it because the guy doesn't know me. You know, I mean, he just saw the thing. But you know, it's important to say that the negativity around you does not affect you whatsoever unless you let it affect you.
Exactly, that's what I meant before.
Okay.
It's always up up to us to cultivate something more conducive, something that is more helpful for ourselves, for our well-being, and for the big whole. It's not just us, and we're all responsible for that individually. So Zelda says, Christine is inspirational. I have a chronic health condition which can be very painful, but it's best to have a glass full approach and look on the bright side. Yes, very good, Zelda.
I thought she was going to say a glass full of wine.
Yes, that's why I was double checking.
Julianne, there's one from Dion Parrott there.
Okay, let me just.
Hi, Deanne. How's America?
Where is it?
It's I think we need.
Yeah. Okay, Diane says, I think we need to choose our attitude. I usually take a deep breath and decide I'll have positive thoughts. Yes, good, Diana. Attitude is always something we've been talking about a lot, and it's. I mean, I always. If we look at the word attitude, I mean, it's something. So, what is it? What is attitude? So it's actually like I always see it like a cake, and it has a lot of ingredients. So the attitude is the cake, but then there are ingredients such as the flour, which are your thoughts. Then maybe you add some eggs, right? So your feelings. And then you also take maybe some salt to even it out, and that's your actions. So thoughts, feelings, and actions makes up your attitude, and we can always work on that. So if there's a situation you find yourself in that draws your negativity, even spiraling you down even further, then just stop and analyze a little bit, looking at okay, what am I actually thinking about? What strain of thought am I thinking on a more regular basis? I'm not saying just that one time thought that you have, but if you find yourself attracting wrong things that you don't really want in your life, then yes, it's really like an inventory, stopping and really analyzing and looking at what am I actually thinking on a very constant basis.
Well, I'm just an idiot magnet. I think that's what my problem is.
Yeah. And how do you feel about it?
I feel very superior.
Yeah. So those.
And whilst I'm baking this cake, I usually go for the chocolate chips and the rum as well.
Yep. Okay.
I'll give you a classic example of attitude, Giuliani, and I'm sure they won't mind me bringing this up. I think I mentioned it to you yesterday. At the weekend, I was paid a visit by Tony and Josie. They came down to Bournemouth. They stayed over on Saturday night, and we met up Saturday afternoon, and we did a live. And beforehand, Josie was telling me how she'd been recently diagnosed with breast cancer. And she said, I've accepted it. I'm dealing with it. Bring it on is her attitude, basically. I'm going to get through this. Anyway, we did a live, and I think about a third of the way through the live, Charlie, who follows us all, young Charlie, he said he asked the question, when are Tony and Josie next going to Tenerife? And I passed it over to them. And then Josie sort of not announced, but she brought the subject up. She says, well, we are booked for December. And then she outlined what she'd been diagnosed with and what the sort of intentions were going forward. And she was quite open about it. And, I think there's a few on here, Anne, who were in the live, and they would have seen her attitude. And she was quite, just open, totally open, but very, very positive. She said, my main concern is for Tony, because obviously he's worrying as my partner, so on and so forth. But she was very, very positive, very determined. Attitude 100%. We came off the live, and the first words to her, as soon as the live finished, were, you were very brave. And she went, no, not really. I know what I've got to do. I know where I'm going. And, I'm fine with it. And I thought that was remarkable. Going back to what we were saying before about putting things into perspective, there was me worrying about my little niggles in life. And I've got Josie coming out with that. Absolutely fine attitude. And then that night, she partied like there was no party ever to go to again. She had, we had great fun. I'll be putting some videos up with it. They were singing on the karaoke in a pub. You would never have guessed it in a million years there was anything going on in the background. That was her little escape Saturday night, maybe. I don't know. But and I've been in touch with them since, and it's exactly the same. They are planning to come to Tenerife in December. There's no doubt about it. Once she's got over this initial course of, way of treatment, a bit like Saf, she's waiting for it to happen, and then it's full steam ahead as far as she's concerned, and that's the best way to be.
Yeah,
I think the thing is you've got to be careful that life doesn't pass you by whilst you're dealing with stuff like that, because Chris was always saying that your illness can't define you who you are, and if your whole life is to do with fighting this thing, right, instead of living the life. I mean, I know you've got to go and do stuff, but in any case, everybody's got to do stuff. It's just that some stuff is a lot harder to get through than others, a lot more painful and a lot more scary, to tell you the truth. But I think that if you try and sort of concentrate on the little wins every day, and I mean, tomorrow isn't guaranteed for anybody.
No,
tomorrow is not guaranteed for anybody, and so you have to get to the stage where you stop your planning for your life and you start living for your life. And for a lot of people, that doesn't happen until they're nearly retired. And we've made decisions in our life that were life changing, like up in sticks and going to America, or me up in sticks and going to Germany. It's always worked out. It's always worked out. And I think that is the indecision and the planning. What's holding you back again is the negativity. What would happen if, I can't afford to do this because I need all this money, right? If they took all your money away tomorrow, what would you do? Well, that's you've got money, stick it in the bank a little bit and go and do what you want to do, because you're a long time dead.
And also, what I would like to add to the story, really good, example you just gave there, Cole, and Tim as well, and really all the best to Josie. I hear a lot of people, and I know that Christine, she has this really good attitude. She's no longer really fighting against that condition. So a lot of times when you say, oh, you got to fight against such and such condition, whether it's cancer, whether it's this and that, yeah, it's something obviously you don't want to have, but accepting it, acceptance is one of the first steps to be dealing with it. So accepting it and making it part of your life is a good way to calm down a situation that is very chaotic, that is not a good vibration, but you want to have harmony and balance again back in your body, and first of all in your state of mind, because and that then attracts also another vibration that that is much more beneficial for what you're seeking, the healing process for a journey like that. So accepting the new condition and still looking for those little sunny moments, whether it is singing a song in karaoke, or going on a trip to Tenerife, or having a coffee or tea with a friend. Those are all moments to be enjoyed, but they cannot really be enjoyed when you don't really accept a condition that is now. And when we don't accept something that is put on our plate, then we're sort of like rejecting part of our own self, which is basically saying, oh, I hate part of myself. So we want to foster acceptance, accepting ourselves as we are right now, and from there going to better places, and that is way more beneficial. So I'm just gonna read some of the comments out, because there are a few here.
I think Josie's just popped into the chat, actually.
Oh, good. Deanne says negative people can bring out the worst in us if we are not careful. So right, yeah, they do, and then it's not a problem to kindly say, okay, well, I need to go, or it's just right now and not the right time, because there have to be boundaries as well. Anne-Marie says people can have negative thoughts and comment without knowing the facts. Yep. Or as just to knock them sometimes out of jealousy, or just for fun to hurt others. Yes. Yeah. Own bitterness, and and then of course the snowball effect is way greater in a negative spiral than in a positive one, isn't it?
Mm-hmm.
So okay, let me see.
Alan had an awful day with a student today who wrote on her exam script that she was committing suicide later. Too long to go into today. Hopefully the support network will help.
Oof.
And Tracy's saying about she's had cancer cells removed 4 times from my cervix, but I keep carrying on with my life's work. Hard and play harder. Work hard and play harder. There you go.
Yeah, that is one
Josie
way.
saying Saturday was a tonic.
Saturday
and Alan's saying,
fun.
well, I have various procedures in place. Anne-Marie, she's in good hands, but my initial talk with her, I managed at least to calm her down. And then she handed her over to the experts.
Okay, Burpees King Am I saying this correctly?
A burpee is an exercise like a press up.
Okay.
And he's the
I
king.
only know burping.
No, burpees.
Burpees. Okay, burpees. There's a very old and much used quote from Henry Thoreau. The mass of men lead lives of quiet desperation. Sadly, there are many people who want to drag you down to join them in their misery. Very good one. Yes, thank you for that comment. Really good. Yeah. And got okay. Let's see. Oh my, I'm so way behind.
Comments flying in.
Oh.
Neil says, Ian, I don't know what resort you're in, but I haven't seen anybody walk past in 45 minutes.
I've just answered them. I wish, Neil. I wish.
That's boring.
Yes. So really, I'm glad for all your comments there. Really good stuff popping up again. And
there's one from Tricia Slater.
Trisha, let me see.
While you're on, Tricia, thank you for the Facebook friend request. I don't do a lot of Facebook, so I don't want to be. I want to be friends, but I just don't do. I don't accept Facebook friends anymore because I don't look and I don't use the messenger anymore. So all I do is I post on Instagram and it goes to Facebook. So for everybody who's there's been loads of people been friending me on Facebook and they've just been they've just gone. So sorry about that. It's nothing personal.
And Tim, you also said that you uploaded a new video earlier on today.
On Webby's channel.
On Webby's channel. So
yeah.
What was that about?
It was basically we interviewed Fran, who was on the show 3 or 4 weeks ago as an Evertonian, an Everton fan. But she is a key member of the Fighting Against Cancer in Tenerife association. It's not a charity because they didn't register it as a charity. What they did, they registered it as an association because it gives them more flexibility for what they want to do. And what they actually do is they've got a load of volunteers who go with people who have cancer to the north, to the Candelaria Hospital, do the translations, get all the paperwork in order, sit with them, help them financially if they need to take them in the car, help with the family and friends as well. So they're doing a really good job, and they're collecting money, obviously, to be able to keep carrying on doing that. And Webby's got an auction going, which is on my website, timothydow.com/Webby. And also he's going to be doing sponsored walks, which are going to benefit this. So Fran came on to give her idea. So if you have a look at that, I think it's only 15 minutes long. And she explains what the charity is all about and what it's doing. And then I interviewed her straight afterwards whilst we're having a coffee, because I didn't go for the walk this morning. And I got a bit emotional, to tell you the truth, because of all the people that are doing all this for free. And she says she prides herself that all the money goes to the people who need it. And I was very skeptical at first when people say, give to my charity. I'm always thinking, it's a charity, but where does the money go? Because I know that in lots of charities, only 20% actually go to the people who need it. But they said no, they pride themselves that all the people who volunteer, they don't ask for anything, and they don't want for anything. I mean, obviously, I think the petrol's paid if you take somebody up, but their time as a translator or their time as basically a hand holder is unpaid. So,
wow, that's great, huh?
Check that out on Webby's channel.
So you can go check it out. It's Webby's sports channel.
Yeah, basically, if you go to youtube.com/@WebbyBoom.
Okay, go check it out then.
Thank you.
Boom. Yeah, so let's wrap up. We're already 54 minutes in. So I just want to, have everyone have some last little words. Christine, I want to start with you.
Oh,
Nothing can.
that was too sudden.
That was too soon. That was too soon. Okay, let's start with Tim.
Well, when I read the what the topic was going to be, negativity, you know me, I'm not sort of a crystals and namby-pamby and all that type of thing. But I think there are people who just enjoy being negative, and there are people who are affected by people being negative. So getting a solution to that problem is probably going to make you happier. But my personal journey was that what Christine said, realizing that I am not as important as I thought I was, and coming to terms with the fact that we are insignificant in the eyes of the universe, that we should just enjoy every second of every day. And if somebody is trying to drag you down, drag them up, lift them up. Don't bat them, lift them up. And if you can't lift them up, drop them.
Yeah. Yes. Thank you. There's this comment I just want to read out quickly. Diane O says, sadly, if you look at the mainstream media and social media, negativity is almost a sport these days. I believe you get back what you give out. Yeah, karma. So treat others how you would like to be treated. Yeah, very good comment. Thank you, Diane.
Look up bread and circuses and the fall of the Roman Empire.
Yep, bread and circus. That's it.
Bread and circus.
The Hunger Games. So, Christine, are you ready?
Yeah, I think I'm ready. So I can just appreciate what Tim said, and
slimy bugger.
And then I always have to think of this song that we sang when Stephanie was little. It doesn't matter how bad you're off, there's always someone being worse off than you.
Yes. Uh-huh. Yeah.
That's true.
That's true.
There's always someone worse off.
That's true. Relativity. Yes. Ian, my friend.
Yes, Julie.
The word of the month.
The word of the month. I'll come to that in a wee minute. I just want to say thank you to Tina Rigby. It was her suggestion that came up. It was on the list for a long time. So thank you to Tina for that. Thank you to Colin for taking part tonight. Thoroughly enjoyed your discussion. I'll leave you with something a wee bit different. It's a wee bit food for thought for yourselves. It's going to the grocery store. I bought a pound of sliced ham in a plastic bag, a loaf of bread in a plastic bag, a gallon of milk in a plastic jug, a pack of napkins in a plastic wrap, in a store-made salad in a plastic tub, a plastic bottle of mustard, a plastic bottle of ketchup. I went to the checkout and I asked for a plastic bag to carry it home. Oh, I'm sorry, because plastic bags are bad for the environment. Food for thought, people. Thank you.
Thank you, Ian. Thank you.
Well done.
Yep. And of course, I want to also have our guest, Colin, have some last words.
Thank you, Leonie. Yeah, first of all, thanks for having me on. It's been most enjoyable sort of hour. I appreciate you asking me to take part. and a massive topic, which is what it is. Just a couple of quick things. It's something I say in my job, nature of the job, DJing. I do a lot of bars, clubs. I'm surrounded by a lot of younger people, and young people these days have a lot of anxiety and negativity brought on by, social media, what they perceive to be perfection and all that sort of thing. And I always say to them, like I say to my daughter, if you've got something coming up in your life that you deem is going to be negative and you're worried and you're stressed, from my experience, looking back, all the things I used to worry about coming up in my life, now I look back on them, they weren't worth worrying about. So just take that negativity away and just embrace what you've got coming ahead. And that leads me on to something that Tim told me back in March when I interviewed Tim on Ask Me Anything. Tim said to me, look back on your life and what's led you to be here in this moment. Would you change anything? And the answer is no. So picking on what Tim said, just live in that moment.
Yeah. Yes, absolutely.
Yeah.
Great.
Yeah.
Thank you so much. Thank you. Yes, it has absolutely been a pleasure having you, Colin, as our guest. Thank you for coming on, making time for us, and speeding the discussion. Thank you, Tina Rigby, for the topic. I hope we discussed it enough. And if there's anything you want to know, just reach out to us. Our emails are in the chat box and in the description box, of course. And yes, thank you, Tim and Christine, for always coming on from your balcony to the living rooms.
We want you on the balcony next time, up on your roof.
Yes. I promise I will come this year.
No, I don't mean come to our balcony. I mean, I want you on your balcony.
Not so on your balcony.
I want you on my balcony, but we want to see where you live now. Yes.
I need to get the internet right for on the balcony, though.
Exactly.
Thank you, Ian. Also,
anytime you can come and clean, have a cup of tea.
Yes. Gotcha. Thank you, everyone, for joining. Also, Ian, of course, for always being here, for putting in all that work in the background as well.
I'm bullying Carl.
You're welcome.
For organizing it. And yes, just keep cultivating some more positive mindset. It's well worth it. It might not be very significant in that very moment, but on a long run, it sums up. It really makes a difference. And even if you're surrounded maybe by things that you don't want in this moment right now, just look for some tiny little things that you can maybe do that uplift you. And you know exactly what that is for you. Everyone is different, of course. So whether it is a song or a walk in nature or having a cuddle with your pets.
Spending more time with your kids.
Spending more time with your kids.
Because Stephanie's coming over next Wednesday.
Oh, that's great. Yes.
With Malika and the little boy in her belly.
Oh my God. Congratulations. Oh my God. The little boy.
A little boy, yeah.
Oh, that's a
going to be called Timothy Lawrence.
Timothy Lawrence. Okay.
I don't know. They shoot that's my suggestion. She's not going to do that.
Well, you all have a wonderful month, and we see you all back for another new episode in September. So I wish you all the best, and bye for now.
Bye, everybody.
Bye, everybody.